Okay, this is a key value store program using Rholang write a value to a key processes in parallel. And this is a really cool thing, but we're going to later look at using a map to do the same thing for better performance. So the first thing we do here is we want to get a key value store as a continuation of a contract, and create a new one, so to speak. And we do first thing we do is we store a nil to the store channel because it's empty.
So the store channel is basically like acts as a variable that holds your data store of all your key value pairs, right? Okay, cool. And I've got a question for you, Jim. When you bought, like at the very beginning, key value store of C, what is the C there?
That's the continuation. It is the actual unforgeable name of the contract.
Oh, I see. You're going to use it. Okay, so when you...
Of the store itself.
This is like...
I'm going to return the store channel.
Got it. Got it. Okay. Wait, you're going to return the store channel itself? Or... You're going to return C, and it's going to have all these... Oh, I don't know, actually.
Wait. I forget already.
I would think the pattern that I've seen a bunch is when you create a new key value store, you pass in a channel that's called like return or ACK or something like that. And then you get back on that return channel an unforgeable name that represents like this key value store. And then on that, you can call all these different methods like put and get and things like that.
Right. I'm forgetting what I'm doing, what I did here already, huh? Where do I return C is the question.
That is a good question.
This is a do everything.
Yeah.
Do everything contract. So and it works.
So let's look.
Writing the store channel here, and
yeah. So you initialize your store channel with like it's empty, right? There's no key values on there anymore. And then on get export, you put the write only bundle of store channel.
Yeah, I'm sorry for the confusion here, but
oh, that's okay. I mean, this happens all the time, right? You write big code and it works, and then you got to remember how it works.
Right.
Yeah.
Standard part of the operation. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's. What if we try to build this up again from scratch, so then everybody can sort of see the process as we go through it. How does that sound?
That would be great. And also, just to help a simple otter here, what are some use cases here that we're trying to provide support for?
Well, I personally am creating a decentralized identifier database, the DID standard for identifiers, decentralized identifiers that basically puts our stuff in the same space as everybody else in the world. And initially creating directories of our contracts so we can call them by name and share them by name.
So this would be a generalizable module for creating unique identifiers for identity that could be be a module that can be used by any application written on RChain. Is that the goal?
Right. They'll still need to get the unforgeable name of the directory. But once they have that, they can look everything else up.
So, Jim, what do you think about letting me take the screen share for a sec, and
Sure.
and we'll build this up, and we'll build a use case along with it. Maybe that'll help out a little bit.
Cool.
So, can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to build a very simple states and capitals game. So in this case, the states and the capitals stand in for really general purpose key and value, right? You associate one thing with another. So in this case, I'm going to associate capitals with states. Okay. So we'll just start writing this. We'll make a new. So we're declaring all our new names here. And I'll call one like make KV store. And then we also have to get this one for printing. Alrighty, so we're gonna build up this contract called make KV store. And what this thing does is a user will call to make a new key value store. So anytime you call make KV store, that's going to create a brand new one. And when you're going to create a new one, all you have to do is give it the name where you want to receive back in return the object that represents the key value store. Whoops. There we go. All right, cool. So what do we need to do when we make a KV store? So Jim, you started by making a state channel, right? That holds your actual data store.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that too. I think that was a great idea. And so we're going to call it store channel. So store channel is the thing that holds the all the key value pairs. And I'm going to do exactly like Jim did. Initialize with an empty store. So that means on the store channel, we're going to send the message. And the message that we're going to send is at the moment just nothing. There's nothing in there. The empty process, right? The stopped process. All right, that's cool. And so then the other thing we need to do is we need to make an instance of this contract. And so people often call it this. All right, so what does that mean? We're gonna give back reference to the created KV store. So the user, when they called up and said, hey, I wanna make a key value store, they also gave me their return address where I can send the thing I made. So I'm going to do that right away. On the return to the return address, I'm going to send whatever we just made. Okay. And we maybe should do a write-only bundle there, but we can talk about those more minute or sort of edge case points after we get the really basic thing working. So far, I've given the user back an object capability that represents their key value store, and I've made this store channel, and I've put an empty data store on it. So that's all great.
Joshy, is this like a keyword?
No, this is not a keyword. Obviously, I chose this after, like in Java, it is a keyword, and it's called this, but you can call it anything you want, like you could call it current KV store or something like that. It's just an unforgeable name.
Thank you.
But the fact that I called it this is to give you that sense, you know, like it did for you, Ned, like that represents this object. So that's why I've called it this. So, okay, so one of the things we need to do in a KV store is put new records in. And then the other thing we need to do is get old records out. So once we've implemented those two, we have like a minimum viable product here, right? And then everything else on top of that is, you know, maybe homework or something. So let's see. We're gonna make a contract, and we need to build it on top of this, right? Because this is what we gave back to the user right here. And so the only thing they can call on is stuff involving this. So here's how we're gonna do it. Contract this, and it takes in And we get to pattern match here. So the first thing it takes in is going to be a string put. And then the second thing it takes in is going to be a key. And the third thing is a value. Dan Connolly always tells me I should use dictionary words here, and so I will. All right, cool, that makes sense. And actually, let's even do this. Before we implement this thing, let's as a discussion piece, let's talk about what this next one's gonna look like. So someone help me out with the signature for what my get method might look like. And you can use the previous one as inspiration. It'll be in some ways similar.
Well, wouldn't you just say get instead of put?
Okay, yeah, good. So in the arg list, we're definitely not going to say put, right? We're going to say get. So that's a great start. And then we'll give it some other things too. So the outstanding questions are, what should I call my contract? And what other things do I need to pass in addition to the fact that I want to do a get operation? So let me just call on Jonathan. What do I have to pass in to do a get operation as a parameter?
Well, I would assume state and capital.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Bingo. In the state and capital example, I have to give a state, and then I'll get back a capital, right? So, in the general sense, instead of state, we're calling this thing key, right? And then we're going to get back the capital that comes along with it. So we also need to pass in a return channel. Okay. That looks pretty decent. We're doing pretty good here. So just to summarize, this method allows us to teach our value store about new pairs of states and capitals. Like, if Alaska and Hawaii just joined, we would call this put Alaska Juneau. And then we'd call this put Hawaii Honolulu. So that's how we put new key value pairs into our data store. And then this one is looking up old ones that are already in there. So here I could call, oh, I didn't name it yet. The spoiler is we're going to name it the exact same thing we named it before, this. So to look up a capital, I would call something like this get Ohio and give them some return channel. And then on the return channel, this contract is going to send Columbus because that's the capital.
I guess the important point here is that we're matching the pattern of the call, and the first contract only gets called if the first argument is put, and the second one only gets called if the first argument is get.
Exactly. Java programmers, and I think C++ does this too, would call these like overloaded methods here. They're both the methods are named the exact same thing. They're named this. But we know which one is going to be called because we pattern match on that first argument. If the first argument's put, we call this one. If the first argument's get, we call this one. If the first argument's something different, we don't call any of them, and it fails silently.
Not exactly the same as overloading, but it's the Rholang equivalent.
Yeah. So what are you thinking of overloading as differentiating in like number and type of parameters?
That, and also overloading in like C++ is done at compile time, and this is all runtime.
Oh, that's a great point. Yeah, that's a really good point. Yep. Okay.
We can make this homework or to do, but the SQL programmer in me also always thinks about how do you alter. Like, let's say you had a spelling mistake in the capital.
Yeah.
It's difficult to do, I know, on a blockchain, but I'm curious on how that would happen.
Oh, we can totally do that. So I'm going to leave it as a to-do right now, and we'll see if we get there. All right. So remember, I didn't implement either of these methods yet, but I want to write some tests. So I'm done declaring the make KV store thing right here, right? So to give people a sense of what this is going to do, let's write up a use case.
I want to go back to the question about overloading.
Sure.
And how should we call it? best case or best practices for naming conventions within Rholang?
Yeah. Good. What's the? Do you have a specific question or a suggestion?
No suggestion, but I think that maybe this is something that should be attended to at some point in terms of how best coding in Rholang may differ from other languages.
Yeah, I see. Okay, so I can speak a little bit to that right now. This pattern that I've implemented here, where the first argument gets matched on and is the method name, this is a pattern that I've seen emerging more and more. Michael Birch and Dan Connolly both really like it. The other way that people have done this is like this, and I kind of like this one better because it doesn't require using the matcher, but you make the contract is built on a tuple. And the tuple is this and the method name here, and then the arguments would be key value. So this is another way people have done it.
So line 16 and 17 are alternatives.
Exactly. Yep. In line 17, the contract is only called this, and we pattern match on an argument. In line 16, the contract is actually the tuple of this and the method name. And then we only pass in these args that we need.
So the C programming loves 16 as opposed to 17, but is there any cost differential between the two?
That's a really great question. I don't know how they look up contract names under the hood. If they're looking up contract names in a hash table, then 16 is going to be faster.
And cheaper.
Cheaper, yeah, it's going to be cheaper. That's right.
You know, a good exercise to take with us is to try it both ways and see what costs.
Yeah.
Cool.
It looks more elegant, but that's just my bias.
There you go. It's officially written in there now. All right.
Can you just add cost, characterize performance and cost?
Oh, I did not understand what you meant by cost until just now, Ned. You're talking about like flow, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I thought you were talking about like, you know, also
cost. Yeah. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, so here's how we would use something like this. I would call, I'll make a new name called. Well, let's think about this. Let's just start where I know how. I want to call make KV store, and I'm gonna send it. Oh, this is what I need to do. New ACK. So the ACK stands for acknowledgement. It's where I'm going to get my answer back. So I'm calling up this make KV store, and I'm saying when you've got one made for me, send it back on my ACK channel. And so then I'm going to say when I get this thing back, so for, let's call it like let's call it states and capitals. And it's going to come from, what channel am I expecting to get states and capitals back from?
Return.
Ooh, close. I called it return up here in the contract, but I called it something different when I called the contract down here in my main program.
Oh, I guess ACK.
Yeah, exactly. Very nice. So here I make this new channel called ACK, and I pass it in. The contract knows that exact same channel as return. And maybe return is a better name too, but it's nice to see that they don't have to be named the same thing. So great. So now I've received back my very own states and capitals store. It's empty right now. And so when I get it, we're going to load it up with a bunch of stuff. So states and capitals, and we're going to put my home state and the capital. And then
a dumb question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Case sensitivity.
I'm listening. What was that?
Case sensitivity. Is lowercase states, uppercase and uppercase capitals different from uppercase states, uppercase and lowercase capitals?
In terms of parsing this program and making it run, I could do either one that I wanted as long as they match. Like I can't have them mixed within the same program. Like this is also a perfectly valid Rholang program, but the emerging standard is camel case, starting with lowercase.
Oh, I thought Jonathan was asking, like, if you search for Ohio capital O versus Ohio lower O.
Oh, sorry, I misunderstood. You're talking about like in the lookups here, Jonathan?
I was asking about both.
Oh,
Okay, gotcha. So the general answer is Rholang is case sensitive, and so cases always matter. We could do something clever where we like wrap the lookup in a thing that always converts it to lowercase first, and so that way you can look up in a case insensitive way. At the moment, operations like that are not easy in Rholang. Like, you know, if you pick up a new programming language like Java or Python or JavaScript or whatever it is, there's almost guaranteed to be a function called like to lowercase or something like that. And Rholang doesn't have many of those yet. So, okay, cool. So well, we can put in one more of these here. Steve, where are you from?
I think it's
Oh no, okay.
California.
Yeah, oh yeah, there we go. Getting that represented in there.
Ooh, you know your state capitals.
I memorized them all once upon a time. Okay, and so now we want to look one up. So in order to look one up, we call states and capitals. So states and capitals is the exact same channel that up here we were calling this. So we call it something generic like this up top because we can make as many of these KV stores as we want, and every one of them probably should have a different meaningful name. So once I'm actually making a concrete one of these that I'm going to use for a specific use case, I don't call it this or something generic. I call it something really specific, states and capitals. So what's the name of my method here to look one of these up? Jeremy? Or yeah, exactly. And so let's just look up, we'll start by looking up Ohio. And I'll give it my ACK channel. And so then we'll say when we get so this is all asynchronous, right? So on line 40, I've said, hey, states and capitals store, I want to look up Ohio. Just get back to me on this channel whenever you know the answer. And meanwhile, I keep trucking along to whatever else comes here. So, so let's say we can call it anything we want, but probably like calling it Ohio capital from ACK. Then we're gonna print the answer was capital. Okay. So what questions are on people's minds so far?
I have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
When performing a lookup, what's the regular expression support like in Rholang?
Oh yeah, that's a great question. So we're implementing this all by ourselves. So the regex support is whatever we get around to coding right here. So my plan for today was basically none.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think regexes are built into Rholang yet, and there's two ways that we could make that happen. One is to implement it like at the Scala level in the interpreter so that we just inherit all of Scala's regex stuff. And the other way is to do it in pure Rholang, which probably will be quite expensive, but
very efficient, yeah.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing that if you want to be a really badass Rholang programmer, like that would be a really great exercise, So, okay, so here's a question for the field. If I run this right now, what kind of output might I expect?
Well, since your put and get methods don't do anything.
Nice. Yeah, exactly. We didn't implement either of these methods yet. So that's what we're going to do. So we want to make the key value store look like this. It's cool in Rholang that you can do this stuff. Now, we've talked about performance a lot, and this might not be the most performant way to do it, but it's cool that you can do it in like almost native row calculus, like the really basics of Rholang. So the key value store should look something like this. On the channel Ohio, we're going to send the string Columbus. And then in parallel with that, on the channel California, we're going to send the string Sacramento, and etc.
No, hold on. So where will, never mind.
I'm with you, Jonathan. Even if you know the answer, you should still ask because other people might be wondering too.
No, I just realized that you were writing this as a comment, not as code. Never mind.
Oh, I see. Yeah, right. This is me kind of brainstorming and designing right here. So I want to implement these two methods in such a way that this is what goes onto the key value store. This whole.
Yeah. Sorry, brain fart.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. All right, so here we go. Let's do. I want to start with put actually. So when we're ready to put something new into the key value store, the process looks like this. We're going to start by digging out the old key value store. For old state, or let's call it old store, from, what did I call it? Store channel. So that says receive whatever is on the old store channel. So like it starts out as nil. We're going to show how we update it right here, but we're just digging off of that channel, whatever was already there. And then the only thing we have to do is we write back to the store channel exactly what we pulled off of it.
Plus.
What was that?
I'm sorry. You're going to write back that plus the new entry, right?
Bingo, exactly right. Yep. So here's the old thing where, the notion of addition we have here is parring together like we showed in the comment.
Parring, right.
Yep. Yeah, so exactly right, Ned. And then what do I want this to look like? Remember, it ultimately should be like at California bang Sacramento. So how might I type that up here?
Bang key, comma, bang value.
Ooh, yeah, really super close, super close. We're gonna do key bang value. Yeah. So.
Oh, okay.
And I want it to be like that. So key comes in as a channel. We're gonna keep it as a channel, and I'm gonna send the process that's associated with the value. So that's it. We dig off the old thing. We write back the old thing plus the new thing.
So here's a really stupid question, I think, but why bother converting store channel to old store and not just operating directly on store channel?
Yeah, that's a great question. So store channel is just that. It's just a channel. It's not like a mutable data structure that we can change. The only thing we can do with it, since it's a channel, is send messages on it and receive messages from it.
Okay.
So once we receive the message, now we have some actual data. We could, there's any number of things we could do with it here, but the thing we happen to do with it is nothing except par in some new data to it.
Okay, so what do you do if you had 1 million records in your tuple space?
We've received them all back here, and then we write in 1,000,001. But remember, it's not 1 million, it's only a single receive event here. It's only a single COM event.
So it's just like pointed to that, not all the data itself. Okay.
Yeah. We're not receiving the first row, then the second row, and then hours later, the millionth row. We're receiving this one process that represents all of the data.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. So that looks pretty good. There's probably some little bugs and stuff just from like typos and silly mistakes, but I think this is basically ready to go. And so now we just need to implement our lookup, and it's going to be really, really similar. So here we're going to get, well, something. We'll leave it as something, I guess, for now. Jim, what was your suggestion? How did you do this when we're matching on key value stuff?
Well, for I have to look again.
yeah, right. It's whatever it is, it's coming from store channel, right? We're going to receive something back from store channel. And the trick here is we're going to use pattern matching to make sure that whatever we receive has the same key as the thing that we're actually trying to receive. So we want to receive something that looks like a send on key, and it has a value like that. And then there's any arbitrary number of other keys and values paired in with it, right? So this means in parallel with the key value pair is anything else. That's what the underscore means.
I did it a little differently. I received a store, and then I did a match. I guess I did.
Oh, that works fine too.
Yeah, this is nicer.
Yeah. So we
in terms of performance or computational load, which is the preferable? Again, getting back to a style guide.
Yeah, and you're saying between what Jim described, where you receive the whole thing and then match, versus what I'm describing, where you do the matching in the for?
Yeah.
The expensive part of that is running the pattern matcher, which happens in either case. So it's negligible difference, if any difference. So let's see here. We need the one thing I'm not sure of syntax wise is exactly where this equal sign goes. So we'll mess with that once we get an error message, if we get one. But
what exactly does that equal sign do?
Yeah, that's a great question. So without the equal sign, then key and value will both bind to anything that was stored in the value store. So like if this is our value store, key and value will maybe be Ohio and Columbus, maybe California and Sacramento, totally non-deterministic. If we put the equal sign here, this says, I'm not talking about any arbitrary new key. I want to actually match the exact same key that was passed in. So when you call like get California, you don't want key value to end up as Florida Tallahassee. You passed in California. You want it to match specifically this one.
So it's the equivalent of the double equal in like Java or Python.
It's
exactly.
similar. It's a similar notion. We're not testing for equality here, but what it means is don't make this a new channel or a new name called key. Make it. I'm talking about this same key that I created up here.
Oh, gotcha.
Is what the equal sign is.
Yeah,
I was envisioning like a really complicated regex expression, but the equal sign substitutes for all that.
Yeah. The equal sign means I'm talking about whatever you passed in here. That's what I want to match here. So I think that might be the right syntax, but I'm not totally sure. So we'll see.
Sorry, Jim, you were saying?
Yeah, well, without the equal sign, key is a free variable, and it's local to the braces that follow the for.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
oh, that's interesting.
So equal says this is not a free variable. This is the key from the environment.
Exactly. So in JavaScript, you might have something like this. You might have like a function that takes X, Y, and Z. And then inside of here, you have like stuff and things. And then at some point, you have another function that takes like A, B, and X. So the X that's inside of here is different than the X that's up here, right? Because this X shadows the other one. Rholang gives us this syntax where we can say equal X, and that means like I want to use the exact same X. The JavaScript equivalent would be to just not pass it in at all. Whoops.
So it injects the name into the namespace.
Yeah, that's a good way to think of it.
So, okay, the reason you have pipe and then the underscore is so you could ignore all the other junk that's coming in from.
Yeah, if I did it just like this, now what I'm saying is match something that's exactly one key and one value. So if something comes back on store channel that's not exactly one key and one value, it won't match.
But isn't it still looking at the key in line 24?
Yeah, it absolutely is. Yeah.
Yeah, but you have other keys in there, and so
Right.
match just that one key value.
So let me give you an example. Imagine I get rid of the underscore there, and my data store looks like this example one that I typed down here, and I call like lookup California. It wouldn't do the lookup correctly because my tuple space is more than just California. It's all three of them. So what I want to match is not just something for California. I want to match something for California, and then there's 0 or more other things also in there. Whoops.
You want to match it, California in parallel with anything else.
Yep. Okay, so I want to keep moving so we can run this before the top of the hour. So what we've got to do now is write back I need to call this something rest. I need to write back to the store channel what I took off of it so that it's still there for the future.
Could you technically just do a peek on it? And just so you just always stay there?
Yeah, peek is exactly the right thing that we want to do here, but we just don't have peek yet.
Oh.
Okay, I think this is gonna work. We gotta run it to see. So our node run in standalone mode, and we'll save time by not using network stuff. So there's new faces here. If you haven't seen this before, you run a node in one terminal, and then you call it to execute your code from a different terminal. What did I call that one? So make sure my node is fully started. It's not yet. All right, now it is. I'm sure it'll tell us about some errors. Yep. So it says invalid input signal symbol line 17, character 21. Character 21. Oh, this needs to be at put. Where's get? Here it is. Oh my goodness. This is the fun part of any programming language. Line 26, character 13. Oh, sure enough. It's that part. All right, let's see how we do this. We want key to be the same name.
I use at equals star key in mine.
That sounds about right.
That works for me. Now, I don't know.
It seems wonky to have to do them like that, but I think you're probably right, Jim. Let's give that a go.
So why is that?
Let me see if it solves the problem before I explain why I think it might work. So now it's the problem's at character 19, which is okay. So what we did here was we took key, which is a channel, and we unquoted it with the star to make it into a process. And then we said we want to use process equivalence. That's the equal. That's basically what we talked about before. And then we said we want to finally turn it back into a name with the at symbol. So I don't know. I'll be sad if I stumble over this to the point where we don't solve it, but it is a possibility that that would happen.
The way I rationalized it is that what we want is the value of the key, not the name of the key, and that's why we did it we did a star key to dereference the name and make it a process, and that's the thing we want, the value, not the name of the key. So we put the equal sign, and then, but here we need to have a name, so we change it back to a name.
right, so we will see. This is so sad. Well, I guess the best I can do is talk through the thought process here, right? We
Or
need
a homework assignment.
What was
Debug
that?
it.
Sorry?
I say it can just be like a debugging homework assignment.
Yeah, right, exactly. So we're definitely going to get back from store channel a name, right? So I'm going to put my quote here. Yeah, let's see. Okay, 2719. Oh, it became 27 because I pressed enter there. That's too bad. Okay.
You want to take a quick look at how Jim did it?
Sure. Yeah, we can look at yours, Jim. You want to share that? If you it's 10:59, so if you do sign off at the hour, I will put this in the Collab Rholang server channel, so you can find it there. So you matched store,
Jim,
which is
you're muted.
process.
I think we were looking at put, right?
This was get. We were looking at get.
Oh, we're looking at get?
Yeah, that because we're pattern matching to try to get the correct key.
Okay, so here I did
Oh, I see.
a little bit differently. I put the store channel in a bungle, so it made it write only, so nobody could mess with it.
Oh.
And I did the tuple. I put the get in the contract, and then I just passed a key and the continuation here. And in the for, I didn't put the pattern. Instead, I got the store and then did a match. Okay.
Right. That makes sense. Okay. So you're matching to the process that is your entire data store, right? That's what you called store.
The process of key values in parallel. So same thing here that you're doing with the other match. Now I put this in braces, right? You may have to put it in braces in yours.
Right. Okay.
Process. And then if I match the key value, the value being stored in the key in parallel with anything else, I return the value to the continuation. Okay.
That makes sense. Yeah. Okay. So if need be, we will switch to doing the match separately because I can't figure out the syntax. But yeah, I think you've inspired me.
I think if you try putting it in curly braces, it'll work.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Let me grab the screen share back. Oh, shoot. All right. Gary and Jonathan are off. That's okay. So we got it almost to go. I got to a new line with Jim's inspiration. So 35 is the problem now. Oh, 35. That's easy. Here's a bug. If you put the final parallel and then there's no process there, it doesn't like that. So we just don't want that part there. Oh, okay, line 42. We're so close. 4 states and capital. Oh, there's no equal sign here. That's a rookie mistake. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. It told me, okay, it told me process variable key at 24 used in name context at 27. Oh no, we're back to this again. So key is a process used in.
So I'm not sure why you need the at.
I'm not sure why it's telling me on line 24 key is a process variable. That seems like it should be a name, right? I just got it back from a receive. Maybe that's what I want. No, it didn't like that either. Okay. That's too bad. I guess maybe we should call it, or you guys want to debug in real time? I don't know what people's plans are for the next hour.
I think we just had somebody join. I don't think there's anything else in this room.
Okay.
If anybody wants to continue.
So my understanding is that key is a name here, because when you receive stuff from channels, you get names. So we want to use that same name. Maybe that's what we need.
I don't think it's a name.
Why do you not think it's a name? I'm curious, because you seem to agree with the interpreter, but I don't quite understand why.
Well, I guess it could be either, really. But
well, you always receive names, though, right? You send processes.
If I'm, oh, yeah, it would be a name in here, right? You're never mind.
Okay.
So it's a name, and we want to do.
In the name, you have to turn the name and get to the process.
I think we want to do an equal star there.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I would take off that second at. Fine.
Maybe star key to match has to be in brackets. Equal bracket star key bracket.
More brackets will never hurt.
But then the brackets, yeah, okay.
Unless they're mismatched, then they will hurt. But I think they're matched right now.
Yeah, I didn't need brackets there.
So I would remove the, after the for paren at bracket, maybe you don't need that bracket right after the ampersand.
But then I'm not quoting the entire, like I'm going to get back from store channel a name. And we're trying to make a process. So I think I want to quote that whole let's just, I have no reason to not try it, but. Let's try something.
So what I'm saying is after key, you have two brackets. Get rid of the second one and maybe move that after value or after rep.
I feel like we're guessing now, so I want to try to think through it a little bit. So let's start from scratch, right? The question is, what do we put in right here? And definitely whatever comes back from this channel, you always receive a name. So we're going to start with that. So we've got a name. That's why I've quoted here. And so whatever goes in these curly braces is going to be a process. So let's just hard code one for a second and see if we can get it to work. And then if we do, then we can try to generalize it. So we want to, on California, send any value. So that means we're kind of short circuiting this. We're saying screw the key they passed in. We're going to always use California first. So we're looking for it. On the channel California, send any value in parallel with the whole rest of the thing. Let's see if that works. Okay, it looks like it worked, but did it tell me any output? It ran, but it didn't tell me any output. So now we can come down here and say standard out in main program. So we just got to see how far we got. Standard out received states and capitals store. So we'll see if we made it that far. We did, okay. We made it through both of those lines. Put. So, well, let's see if those puts went through. Maybe that's a problem. So we should see 3 of those putting a value in. Okay, good. So presumably all of our values got put in correctly. So okay, let's see if we get into our get method at all. Where is our get method? There it is. All right, we made it into the get method. So that just means our pattern didn't match. Oh, duh. We never actually sent back the answer here. That was so silly. We forgot this important line. Okay, the answer was Sacramento. That's great. So we're doing pretty good, right? Now, of course it said Sacramento, even though I looked up Ohio. Can anyone tell me why it said Sacramento?
Because you hard-coded California in.
Yeah, bingo, exactly. As a debugging measure, we hard-coded California. So here's what we know. Much of this pattern is correct. All we have to do now is figure out how to make this process, instead of the literal process California, we need to make it be key. So I think we want key to be a process. That's how I've defined key.
So that should do it. Right?
Let me try one more thing. Let me make sure that it's okay to put curly braces here. All I've changed since last time is adding curly braces. I think that's going to be okay.
Ah.
20. Okay, so now it's saying proc variable key. Oh no, that wasn't the only thing I changed. I also changed this. Sorry. Okay. Okay, so that ran again. The last successful run is here. I should put a line just to make sure we know in the future. So this works. So now we have the problem I said before. We need to get key, which is now a process.
What would happen if you were the 4? You convert that and make it, or put an asterisk there, and then you convert it back.
Okay, yeah, so that's a good idea. I did make one little change. I put @ signs here. I just want to make sure that that has not broken the program yet, and then we'll try.
And the reason why I said that was because during our last week's office hour, Chris Williams brought up a good point in terms of how he, like his habits of when he's coding it. And usually he always like to put the @ signs when he's receiving it, and then he converts it to an asterisk so he knows what he's sending out versus what he's sending in.
Okay, yeah, so I've got the @ sign here. That's a good idea. So now we just need to get that key process instead of California, and I really think that's it. But we'll see. I've been wrong already.
You still need the equal, right?
Oh, I totally forgot the equal. That was silly.
Well, let's see if this works.
Yeah. It's long running. Is it hung?
Ooh.
That's weird.
We broke it.
Yeah. What? Oh, wow. We totally broke it. My terminal isn't even responding anymore. Oh. Whoa.
There goes your flow.
Yeah. All right. Started up a fresh node. I hope we're down to the point where people left here are like familiar with the pains. I hope this isn't someone's first impression of Rholang.
Oh man, I've spent hours debugging like this. So.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I should add.
Yeah.
So
Probably even harder back in the day when we didn't have all the right tools.
well, so that's the question. It's like, you know, I would do memory dumps. I would look at all kinds of stuff. I don't know what tools we have available to help us at this point.
Okay, so it's back to a working state where I have California hard-coded. So I want to just make a copy of this real quick in case we have to ask for help from someone smarter than me.
I'm gonna put it that way.
No, that's okay. It's a privilege to work with so many smart people around here. So, all right. Jeremy, you had a suggestion, and I forget what it was.
It was putting an asterisk in front to convert it, and then you.
Whoa, hold on. In front of what?
I'm sorry, in front of California.
Okay. So star turns a name into a process. What we have here so far is already a process. And then what goes here? Equals key?
Yeah.
All right, we'll give it a go and see what happens. And 29, 19. That's 19.
So the star turns it into a process. Yeah. Are you matching on the process or the name of the process?
So I think when I declared key is a process now because I've put this @ sign here. So I think key is already a process. It would be nice if there were some way to confirm that by like printing out key as a blank.
So key is a process and you're matching on the process.
Right.
But you matching on the.
You know, we got it, guys. We made it work. The missing equal is what went wrong when we locked the terminal last time. Right, it gave me the answer is Columbus.
Okay.
Let's double check here. Let's do one we've never done before. And now I'm realizing that this was a silly name to call that. I feel pretty good about it.
Looks good. Share it.
The part that is always like a tiny bit unfulfilling is like, all right, computer, I want you to show me all the things I tried before and convince me that I didn't try this because I really thought I did, or something like that.
Can we look at the final code, 28 or whatever, 29?
Oh yeah, this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, because every time I look at it, I'm kind of hung up on the curly braces, on like trying to understand what it's doing. So we got 4, and then we pretty much made this whole entire line at curly braces, at curly braces. So that whole line where it goes to rest, a process, and then you made it another process inside of it.
So yeah, so let's parse it from the inside out. We've got the entire line, except for the comment, is a for, right? And for is always for some particular pattern from some channel. So I think the from some channel part, everybody hopefully is at least a little familiar with, right?
Mm-hmm.
The hard part that I struggled with was coming up with the pattern here, right? So let's start by just talking about that very first @ sign, and then there's this whole thing highlighted. So what does the @ sign do?
Turns the process into a name.
Bingo. So it says whatever I get from store channel is going to be a name, and so I'm going to put the explicit name character here. So the highlighted thing is now the process pattern. The highlighted thing is what process do I actually want to be receiving back from store channel, and then hint, it's a process of this form. That's what we agreed in advance. So the thing in curly braces up top matches this Ohio Bang Columbus, California Bang Sacramento. This thing has to match the Ohio Bang Columbus, Florida Bang Tallahassee. All right, cool. So the curly braces themselves are just the grouping character for processes. You can always put curly braces around processes. So this process has to also match the Florida Bang Tallahassee, etc. And so we talked about rest. Rest means all the other ones that we're not matching on. And
now, so since we don't care what the rest is, we could put underscore there, right?
The reason I gave it a name is because we need to write the exact same thing back. With the way you did it, Jim, you bound a name to this whole thing, and so then you're right. We didn't care what it was. So this part here has to match one of those. It has to match just Florida Bang Tallahassee, for example. So value will bind to Tallahassee. And then this part, this is the channel that we're sending on, right? The at here makes it a channel. And so this is the process that we're sending on, and we're saying make it the same process as key was up here. Holy moly.
I predict that if you remove those brackets, it would still work.
These ones?
Yeah.
That makes sense to me too, Jim.
Didn't we already try that?
Yeah, it looks familiar.
I think we tried it. It didn't work.
The question is, how greedy is this @ sign? Is the @ sign just going to quote the thing that was in braces before? And if so, it should still work. Or is the @ sign trying to quote all of this?
Good point.
So let's just see. now everything works. I think we should take that as a sign that we got so good at understanding this and declare victory for the day. Yeah. That sound good to everybody?
Awesome.
Yes.
I noticed you were looking at the editor, the collaborative editor for Rholang. Are you thinking that something like that might be useful for your office hours?
Is this what you're looking at here? What you're thinking of here?
Yes.
So I think this is just syntax highlighting for Rholang. But Gary, that is a freaking brilliant idea. We should totally have this in a state where I can edit part of it and then you guys can edit part of it, right?
Yeah. Back when I started playing with the the editor glitch.
Yeah.
I thought, wow, this is really fantastic because we can actually edit code together. And then I realized that Adam already had something like that.
Adam has teletype.
So what is this? I'm not familiar with this.
The big picture problem he's trying to solve is it would be really nice for me to write a bunch of code, including a to-do, and then say, okay, Ned, you fill in that to-do, and you can just pick up without having to like me email you the code and you copy it into your editor and you take the screen share and all of that stuff.
So it's like Google Docs for shared coding?
Bingo.
Yes.
So Adam, my editor is called Adam, and it has a plugin that does that really nicely. And then I know you guys have used Glitch before. I've even helped a little bit, but I'm not super familiar with how it works.
Well, it's the editor that Glitch has. The advantage with it is it's running now. You don't have to do anything to it. It's a terrible editor.
Okay.
But we get to share it, and that by itself makes it fantastic. But if we could get on something like Adam, it's a different ball game. But getting there is much harder.
Is it?
I would love to do it with Adam because then I can continue to run it locally. Like we don't have to have everyone have a node installed and everything. There's somehow there's packages. Well, install. Does anyone else have Adam installed right now?
I think I do.
I've installed it before, but not on this computer.
Give it a try. Let's give it a try. I can devote 15 more minutes to this. That would be really great. So you need Adam, which comes from adam.io, and then you need this teletype plugin. I don't know if that's installing or what.
If we
does the collab use anything, Jim?
I'm sorry, I missed something. But if the Rholang JS supported eval, we could all point to the same instance of our node.
Yeah, that's true.
And then how do we edit the same source code at the same time?
Yeah, it doesn't solve that problem.
Well, we use Glitch, or we use another one. I'm forgetting the name of it right now. There's another one that.
Well, Adam does that, right? That's what Joshy's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Adam and Glitch.
Adam is one solution, if everyone would still have to run their own node if they wanted to test things, unless.
No. The beauty is, like Jim, if you code on your screen, it also updates my editor, so I'll keep the screen share even when you're coding, and then I can execute.
Oh,
right.
Cool.
Yeah.
So who wrote the Rholang package for syntax?
I don't know. I just discovered it today. I asked over here on Discord, and I don't know if anyone answered yet. I don't even remember where I asked, I guess.
But it's there, so that's cool.
Yeah, exactly. It exists. Yeah, it was right here. This is Tomislav. I don't know if you guys know him. The README for the syntax highlighter said, thanks to him for the grammar file. So I don't know what his involvement was, but he might have.
He works for Pyrofex for the co-op now, right?
Yeah.
Tomislav does? Is that true, Isaac? I think he's a free agent at the moment.
Okay, I kind of remember seeing his name on the Monday dev stand-ups, but.
Gotcha.
But no, what package do I need to install?
The package is, you've got Adam installed, right?
Yeah.
The package you want to install is called Teletype. Anyone else can do this too. It would be fun to try it out.
Right.
Adam runs on Windows, Mac, and.
So what's it, adam.io?
Yeah.
And then you have to install it?
Yeah.
All right, installing the package.
So I think I'd just click on this little thing in the corner here to start one, but I don't know for sure. Generate an authentication token and paste it below. Maybe I have to log into Teletype here. Oh, I can use GitHub. Okay. Okay, copy token. Seems great. I guess I'll share this thing. Invite collaborators to join your portal. God, that's tiny. Okay, Jeremy, I'm going to give you the token over here in Colab, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of action going on in here. Oh, the EU guys are at DevCon 4.
Cool. Got it.
Takes a long time to install.
Yeah, it took me a long time too. Or Atom or Teletype?
Adam.
Oh, gotcha. I don't remember if that took me a long time. Did you get that URI, Jeremy?
Yeah, I got it.
So I think you just got to click on this little radio tower down in the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And then paste it or something. I don't know. What's it look like?
Let's see here. Join a portal. Let me.
That sounds right.
All right.
Ooh, I hope I don't have another meeting right now. I should probably check. Oh, Jeremy Beal 11 has joined. Yay! I see you in here.
Sweet.
All right, I'll edit my code a little bit.
All right.
Put another state in here. Yes.
Success.
I wonder if I can simultaneously edit.
I think you could just drop down and edit at the same time.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Where do you put that teletype Atom thing?
Oh wow! Look at that. You just
It's in
totally.
your package, Jim, somewhere.
Jim, I went to edit settings and then I came down to install.
Oh. Wow, this is taking forever.
Jim, this is a lot better than Glitch.
Have you tried it?
Yes.
Wait, we should be using this for. I mean, if everyone can become integrated. I didn't catch if anyone brought it up. We can totally use this for the new office hours.
Joachim has actually been advocating this a long time, but we just don't do any group source code editing over there anymore.
Who has been?
I didn't know he was
This
using
actually will help people learn because it's more interactive.
Yeah, that's cool.
Joachim at DigLife. He's one of the social ledger inventors.
Oh,
I thought
gotcha.
Joachim was using something else. I forget the name of it.
The last thing we tried was Atom, but I don't know everything that he looks at.
Right, because there's a website that you go to and you can work on his code, but I haven't had a chance to work on it.
Who else did we have here today that I might want to ping with this code?
David was on here.
Oh yeah,
Steve
David.
Henley.
Who was that last one you said?
Henley Steve or something like. I forgot his.
He's still here. Yeah.
His code. Yeah, he's still here.
Is he over here?
So it says it also integrates with GitHub.
Adam does. Yeah, totally. If it's a little boring right now, but I could click like initialize repository and then it'll tell me what files are changed and I can stage them in here.
That's
I
really
can't
cool.
find the settings.
Thank you.
Peek at my screen real quick, Jim.
Okay, finally installed.
Edit preferences.
Oh yeah, side note: has anyone been having issues with CryptoFX with persistent sends?
I have no. Well, let's see. I'm in the welcome guide. Is that my problem? But I don't have any.
Show us your screen, Jim. Oh no. Oh, Udo's in here. Hi, Udo.
Edit.
Hey, Joshy.
No preferences.
Go to a file. Or no, packages, right?
Packages. Yeah, maybe it's different on Atom or on Windows. Oh.
Josh, you installed Teletype and Rholang?
Yeah,
thought,
it's called language Rholang, I think. Show us edit again, Jim. It's got to be there, right?
I may need to update Adam, but I thought I already installed Teletype. Teletype.
What's under file? Settings. There you go. That's a weird place to put settings.
I've never.
There you go. Packages.
Yeah, install at the bottom is.
Oh, true.
I think this is only the ones you have installed.
And
all right, gentlemen, I got to bounce. I got some other work I got to take care of today, okay?
All right.
very good, guys. Thanks much.
Yeah, this was fun. Thanks a lot. See you next time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Teletype, install.
All right. So now how do I join that Adam group?
He put the address in the Rholang channel right here, Adam Teletype portal.
Okay, that's under, okay, the regular RChain.
Lab Rholang channel.
Okay. Hopefully my computer doesn't, I got so much stuff going.
Still installing. Oh, it stopped installing. No, I guess it's installing. There's little lines going. Okay. Okay, it's installed. Now I need to put in.
So you put that link somewhere inside of Adam?
Well, click that this the radio at the bottom right. Oh, there you go.
Join portal.
Oh, you might have to sign in with GitHub.
Oh, okay. Actually,
Why isn't it?
I'm not really sure though.
Not letting me sign in.
I got to get a token.
Click, yeah, that link, and it should direct you to your GitHub.
Oh.
The link isn't clickable.
Yeah, you have to. I had to hit.
What
Now
did
go
you?
back to Adam, Jim.
Oh, okay.
And then paste the token where that. You got to paste it in there. The token that you just copied off your GitHub, paste it in that, enter your token.
Oh, okay. So I have to log into GitHub?
Yeah, it should direct you to GitHub.
Oh, I
Click that, paste your code. Yep.
I ignored that. How do I get back to?
And Jim, at the bottom, click join the portal. And then copy that code that Joshy sent.
What am I doing?
Discord. So go back to your Discord and copy the code Joshy sent. Yep. The Adam teletype.
I'll collaborate in real time with Teletype. I did that.
Paste it in there. Join. Click join. There you go.
Hey, Jeremy, sorry, how do I get back to having Adam look at my GitHub?
Click the little radio on the bottom right.
Now how do I get into the code now?
Oh, you should have.
Oh, I
It
see.
just popped up for me, to be quite honest. Let's see here on title.
Authorize teletype for Adam.
Weird. LXI, join portal. Let me just try it again.
How does it know what
Sure.
my hub is? I don't know.
Oh, it says the portal has been closed. Joshy, stop sharing the editor.
Aha. So, yeah, so if we want to work on it over time, somebody has to host it and keep it running.
I wonder if you could host it inside of Discord, so it's always there.
Well, we could run it on Robot.
Wait a minute. If we could link it to a GitHub repo, I wonder if that would stand in for somebody hosting.
No.
Well, actually, I do need to make a dev-ed repo alongside with the exercises I'm doing, so I could just create one and we can just all work from there.
That would be great, but I guess the question is, can we? So let's say we link to that, and I'm fooling around on a file. Can somebody else just log into Git and add them, and then also, or does somebody have to host deterministically and then people join?
I think someone has to host it, and then everyone joins in as they go into the link.
Gotcha. So that would work for individual sessions or collab.
Yeah, we could just put it directly into the collab, so it allows everyone to collaborate.
So Jim, don't we have a collab this afternoon, or at some point today?
Yeah, well, today's Thursday, so we actually have one 2 p.m. New York time and 4 p.m. New York time.
Okay, so maybe we could test it at collab today.
At 2 p.m. we'll do that?
Yeah, so that's 11 here. But yeah.
What do I think maybe we can run Adam on the cloud. I'm not sure what the alternative was. Joshy, I guess Jeremy said was going to run it all the time, or how are we going to persist this?
Yeah, we can run it all the time. Yeah, just let me get all the. I need to kind of roll out anyway. So yeah, just give me a couple minutes to get situated, and I can start creating the repos.
Are you going to be at collab at 2?
Yeah, I can try to make it at 2. I don't think I have anything
on
else.
any repo. It doesn't matter which one. The link to Git, I think, one person has well, whoever has access to the repo can put it. I think it'll make a pull request for you. I haven't used it, but it seems like periodically people would be doing updates to the repo or pull requests.
Mm-hmm. Also, speaking of pull requests, Ned, can you send? Do you have any Rholang related or RChain related repos on your GitHub?
Me personally, no. I saw something on Discord from Patrick looking to consolidate or something. I'll answer him, but no, I don't have any.
All right. Yeah, I need to start doing some digging on that as well. So let me get started on all that, and I will talk to you guys later and see you guys later.
All right, cool. Thanks everybody.
Take care.
Steve, we can't hear you, Steve. Here.
Maybe I should update VirtualBox first.
Yes, I have to click on the link. Yeah. Okay, so let's see.
No, I won't do it right now.
Okay, so under settings, what's the shared folders. One from the bottom. Oh. Auto mounted.
I just don't know how to find it.
Okay, so okay, yeah. So it looks like it's done. So if you go to your Linux,
Which will take a minute for it to start.
yeah, okay. Jim, are you ever tempted to redo your hard drive as a Linux box?
I'm tempted, yeah. But,
Yeah, me too. I haven't done it yet, but I'm tempted.
Hello, hello.
Hey, Steve, we can hear you.
Yeah, I'm not sure what was going on there.
I know. I saw you try to speak this morning, and your microphone would emit like one of those long range, sniper rifle.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I knew somehow unmute, but
good deal.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey, I think we accomplished a lot today, especially with this. If we can get this Atom application working and we can all kind of code together, that'd be a tremendous learning tool.
Yeah, I agree. And the syntax highlighting.
We can gang code stuff in no time at all.
I like that gang coding.
We'll just be magic.
Jim, that's right up your community intelligence. Jim, I want you to know I really respect what you say, and I appreciate that you and I have different opinions. And I don't know how you feel, but I definitely value everything you say, even though I might give you crow for some of it.
Yeah, well, I need somebody to hold me back a little bit.
Well, that's the beauty of collaboration, is the different perspectives.
Absolutely. Yeah. So it sounds like you guys had a successful meetup the other night.
Yes, we did.
Yeah. Did we have any pictures?
Well, someone was there, audio, so we have a videotape of it all.
Right, but most of our Tampa Bay collective stuff was off camera. We just got some stills.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, we learned about Chris Williams. He showcased his physical coin faucet, and he's finishing up that project. As he's got a front end the website to where you can go and provision the system and the user interface. So he's working on a few other details to finish it up. So yeah, that's exciting. And then someone with Pocket conferenced in to help get everyone a better understanding of what Pocket is and what their relationship, how they're working with RChain. So yeah, that was all very, very interesting.
Cool.
And then we all went out for beers afterward.
So Jim, on the left-hand side, second from the top in the toolbar, there's a file cabinet. Yeah, click on that. And then, let's see, go to other locations on the left. So somewhere you need to mount. Let's see, where would it be? What folder did you link to? Jim, you're on mute.
I mapped to my home.
No, on your Windows box. What location did you link to?
The home on the Windows box.
So somewhere on mine, okay, somewhere on mine. So I have,
User's Jim Scarver. Jim Scarver.
Yeah, so this is interesting because on mine I see a, like I have a mounted folder kind of thing. Okay, let's see where that would be. Go back to your files window. And in the upper right corner, click on the triple line. Oh, click on computer. Maybe that's it. That's not, no, that's not your, okay, that's not you.
Should be in here. It's got to be in here somewhere if I'm going to be able to access it.
Click on home. Maybe it's under home on the left.
I think it's
All the way on the
under opt. No. Home
See,
should just be the accounts on the system.
well, what's your name on Windows? Jim S?
Jim C. Yeah, Jim SC.
See, I don't see it mounted here. So like when I do mine, I definitely get a drive that I had to mount. Okay, let me run my instance.
Stop share.
It doesn't matter. Let me just run my instance and then I can share my desktop. So yeah, I'm gonna have to get out of Discord. Discord's a little bit of a memory hog. I'm just bringing up my virtual box, and then I'll share my screen. I had a really interesting conversation late yesterday afternoon with Barry Cinnamon.
Oh, okay.
It was really interesting.
What is this? This manages mount and unmount file systems. Install.
Oh, did you install the third-party apps under VirtualBox?
I thought so.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I did.
Oh, oh, that's you.
I don't know why they wouldn't include it.
Oh, those guest apps. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, mount and unmount file systems, of course.
The user mode package contains several graphic tools for user info, user mount, user password, user info. I don't remember installing that.
See, I can't even remember so I've used Unix commands practically all my life, and I don't remember them anymore.
My Ubuntu.
We look at VF, we get everything mounted, but nothing.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to hold on.
So here we have disk management. We can launch it. There are no file systems which you are allowed to mount or unmount.
Yeah, okay, hold on. My Ubuntu is not. Oh, finally. Okay, hold on. There, almost there. Okay, let me share my screen, Jim. Okay. So I mounted. Oh no, that's not it. So if I go to my filing cabinet, right? Let's see where I have it. Okay, so this is SF downloads is what I have linked to.
Right.
And so it's a mountable drive. And so if I look at my desktop, I have this SF downloads.
Right.
So what did I do? I did this way back. Okay, hold on. No, so nothing is set there.
Devices, huh?
Jim, so if I were you, I would update VirtualBox and then update the VirtualBox guest module, which once you update VirtualBox, it should give you a prompt to update that other third party, whatever it's called. And then update those, and then probably update Ubuntu. But I kind of think this just came up by default. And I don't remember if I had to do anything. What was it? Let's try. Yeah, so this is definitely looking at my Windows hard drive. Did you install that mounting software? Jim?
Install what? Yeah, I installed the mounting.
Let me unshare and then let me stop my share. If you want to share again, we can take a look.
Yeah. I think you're right. I should update everything first.
But let's take a look.
Long ago that I installed the 18.04 Ubuntu.
Gentlemen, I've got to head out.
All right, Steve.
All right, Steve.
Yep.
Good to see you.
Okay.
Enjoyed it. Yep. Have a great day.
Jim, go to the on the bottom left, the square of dots. Yeah. And look for mount. Okay, go to disk management.
There are no file systems which you are allowed to mount or unmount. Contact your administrator. So it looks like, I mean, if it says contact your administrator, it sounds like I need to run this root.
No, I don't think that's it. I think, there's a secondary package for Ubuntu also that I had to install. I don't remember. I would update everything. And if you get asked to install, any other packages from the install program, just say yes. Because once I turn that on in VirtualBox and you have it turned on, it just appeared on my desktop. So
Oops. Yeah, there's Unix commands to do all this stuff. I mean, Linux commands.
But it should be pretty automatic. It was for me. So I think something's just not installed. So. Anyway, I'm happy to help you later once you've updated everything. It's still not working.
Right. Later, guy.
All right. Talk to you later, Jim.
Bye-bye.